everyone! So happy to have you back. Today I have a little surprise. I am going to take you to a seaside fishing village to hear the story of Eli and the Fisherman, written by Andrew Glen and illustrated by J.J. Anderson. Are you ready to hear this harrowing tale? Good! Me too! Let's read it. There was once an old man who lived in a village near the sea. Every morning the old man would wake up, get dressed, have a little something to eat, brush his teeth, wash his face, and comb his hair. Then he would walk down to the sea where he kept his fishing boat. Every day the old man would push his boat out into the sea and go fishing. Some days the old man would catch lots of fish, and some days the old man would only catch a few fish. But he didn't care because he loved fishing. Every night when the old man would return from fishing, a small boy named Eli, who lived in the village, would hurry down to the beach and help the old man pull his boat up out of the water. He would help the old man unload to catch a fish and carry it to the market, where the old man would sell it and share some of the money with Eli. The old man loved Eli, and Eli loved the old man. Lately, though, whenever the old man would return from fishing, there was never any fish in the boat. But Eli would still meet the old man every night and help him pull his boat up onto shore. "Maybe one day you should take me fishing with you," said Eli to the old man. But the old man laughed and said, "The sea is no place for a boy." "I'm big enough," Eli replied, "and strong too. Feel my muscles," he said, motioning to the old man to feel his muscles as he flexed his biceps. The old man laughed and said, "Yes, you are strong, but not strong enough." "Maybe one day," said Eli. "Maybe one day," the old man replied. The next morning when the old man went down to the sea, it seemed unusually calm. As he pushed his boat out into the water, he decided that he would venture out further than he ever had before. He was hoping to change his luck and finally catch a fish after so long. As the old man rowed out further and further away from the shore, he had a strange feeling that today was going to be a good day. He felt it was going to be a good day as he baited his hooks and threw them overboard. He felt as if today his luck was going to change. He felt as if today he was going to catch a fish. He felt today as if he was going to catch a lot of fish. It didn't take long for the old man to realize that his luck had changed, and today wasn't going to be an ordinary day of fishing. Immediately, as the baited hook hit the surface of the water, an enormous fish jumped out of the water and grabbed a hold of the hook. Whoa. The line in the old man's boat began unraveling at a furious pace. The old man stumbled in the boat and nearly fell out. "What a fish!" the old man exclaimed as he struggled to get a hold of the line in his calloused hands. The line whistled through his fingers, and the old man secretly wished to himself that Eli was there with him. Because today was no ordinary day, and this was no ordinary fish. As he grabbed hold of the line, the fish nearly pulled the old man right out of the boat. He had to brace himself against the edge of the boat and wrap the line around his waist to try to slow the fish down. Wow, it's a strong fish. As the line began to tighten around the old man's waist, again, he wished that Eli was there to help him. The old man pulled with all his might, but the fish fought back bravely and continued to pull the old man's boat further and further away from shore. For a brief moment, the old man panicked. How was he ever going to row all the way back to shore? But the old man quickly shook his head. First things first. First, he had to catch the fish. Already he was beginning to feel tired. Just then the fish leaped out of the water. The old man smiled because he knew that the fish was getting tired. Again, the old man's thoughts drifted to Eli. Eli would be so proud of him, the villagers too. He would become a legend. They would tell stories about him. No one had ever brought back such a huge fish, such a magnificent fish, such a beautiful fish. Again, the fish jumped. The old man knew the fish was getting tired, but he would have to act quickly and get the fish on board before it got its second wind. The old man pulled tight on the line, but it was not easy. Again, the old man thought about Eli. Oh, what a difference another pair of hands would make right now, he thought to himself. But Eli was not there, and so the old man would have to do this alone. Oh, he pulled tight on the line, and for the first time, the fish didn't fight back. The old man smiled. Finally, he thought to himself. You are mine now, fish, he yelled as he slowly began to pull the fish alongside the boat. It seemed like it took forever before the old man finally pulled the fish alongside the boat, and as he did, he immediately realized that he now had another problem. How was he ever going to get a fish this big into his boat? Wow. Whoops. There you can see. Okay. The old man pulled and pulled, but there was no way he was going to get the fish into the boat. He was too tired and the fish was too big. The next best thing to do was to tie the fish to the side of the boat and hope that he made it back to shore before any other fishes ate his fish. When the old man finished tying the fish to the boat, he realized how much the fish had tired him out, how late it was. The sun was near the horizon. Soon it would be nighttime. The old man began rowing toward shore. Oh, but he was too tired. Maybe I'll just rest a while, the old man thought as he lay back in his boat. As his boat drifted, the old man began to think of Eli and what a big help he would be. Then he thought of the villagers, how amazed they would be to see such an old man catch such a big fish. It was not long before the old man drifted off to sleep. When he awoke, it was dark, and the old man had no idea where he was. Again, he wished that Eli was there with him. He had no idea how long he had been asleep or how far he had drifted. He also needed someone to help him stay awake and to help protect his fish. But for now, there was no one, and so the old man lay in his boat, staring at the stars and waiting for the sun to come up. Meanwhile, back on shore, Eli had been pacing up and down on the beach all day long, looking for some sign of the old man in his boat. As day turned into dusk and dusk turned into night, he could no longer take it, sensing that the worst had happened to the old man. He untied the first available boat he found. He felt fortunate that the other fishermen had come home long ago and were by now at home or in one of the local cafes that dotted the street that ran along the shore. Eli knew what he was doing was wrong, But he also knew that if something terrible had happened to the old man and he did nothing about it, he wouldn't be able to live with himself. He pushed the small rowboat into the water, jumped aboard, and began rowing as fast as his small but mighty arms could row. Eli rowed and rowed all the way through the night towards what he hoped would be the old man's boat. He prayed that he would be all right. When the sun finally came up, the old man thanked God that his fish was still there, that nothing had eaten his fish in the middle of the night. He started rowing in the direction that he thought was towards home. Soon, he saw something on the horizon. It was someone rowing towards him. As the boat got closer and closer, the old man realized it was Eli. The old man smiled and breathed a sigh of relief. "What are you doing here?" the old man asked Eli as he pulled up alongside the old man's boat. "Looking for you. When you didn't come home last night, I got worried. I decided to come looking for you," Eli said. Whose boat is that?" the old man asked. "I borrowed it," Eli replied, winking at the old man. You're in a lot of trouble," said the old man. "By the looks of things, so are you," said Eli. "I thought I told you that the sea was no place for a boy," the old man said. "You're lucky I'm here," Eli said. "You're right," said the old man. "I'm glad you're here." "Me too," said Eli. "Come on, let's go home before anybody else gets worried." "Thanks for coming for me," the old man said as he tied his boat to Eli's. "You're welcome," said Eli as he gave the old man a hand. "By the way, nice fish," Eli said as he tied his boat to the old man's. The old man smiled. Maybe you are big enough to fish now," the old man said as he dipped his oars into the water. "Maybe I am," Eli said as he started turning the boats around. "Big muscles, too," the old man said. Eli looked at the old man and smiled. And it looks like they made it home safe. The end. Oh, what a wonderful story. Thank you, Andrew Glen. And if you want to find more of his books, because he has a series, you can look him up with your parents on Amazon. He's got a bunch of books there. And don't forget to subscribe below because you don't want to miss out on any stories and more. Bye, you guys. See you next time.